Hi, class. We're starting this chapter, and what we're going to be talking about is nonfiction. And the next part of this semester, we're going to look at the difference between nonfiction and fiction. So, before we look at fiction, we're going to be talking about nonfiction. Nonfiction is not fiction. No, nonfiction means that it's true, that it's factual based, and that it's not a made up story. There's nothing made up about it, that we can verify it. Where do we find nonfiction? We find it in magazines like This Is My Poets and Writers, that has information about where I can submit articles. It features certain writers, and I just got this in the mail, and I can read it and I can get information about upcoming events that are related to writing. And then there's also articles on how to help people who write to write, and that's nonfiction. Another nonfiction piece I have here is a book on Turkey, and this has maps in it like this, and it also has pictures that were taken, and these places exist. And if I were to go here, literally, I would find the place. And it also gives important information about certain regional places. This is a nonfiction book. Nonfiction also comes in newspapers. It comes in pamphlets at the doctor's office. Nonfiction also comes in a variety of different magazines like Newsweek or Time. These magazines have articles about current news events. The newspaper is nonfiction because it has current events about what happened. It could be car accidents, robberies. Um, it could be information about taxes that are going up in our city or our town. And so, why do we rely on nonfiction? We rely on nonfiction for information, and solely so that we know how to proceed with our lives. Some nonfiction is to inform. So this is an example of something to inform about the country of Turkey. This is totally information about how to write better and about different writers. But there are some magazines that are, or some brochures that are out to persuade you. When you get the voter pamphlet, and I don't have one right now because there's no election going on, but when you have a voter pamphlet, there's a lot of information in there that talks about the pro and the con of certain political propositions. And so there's a lot of persuasion in there. So there's two reasons why you would read nonfiction. One is to get information. The other is to get to be persuaded about something. Maybe you're not sure what to vote for, and you like to look at the different reasonings and the different arguments of the different sides. But nonfiction is solely for the purpose of enhancing our own reality and enhancing what we should know or to do better. If you go to the doctor and you talk about, maybe you have problems with your kidneys, the doctor will give you pamphlets about what to do with your kidneys. A lot of people these days seem to be Googling information that is nonfiction. And the danger in that is that sometimes Google may not have the most informative information. It may have ideas in there about the topic, but they may not be accurate. So in order to get accurate information, you really should find something published, like a magazine, um, or some sort of published material that an editor looks through. Because if you Google a lot of things, you're going to get a lot of information that is not particularly factual. It may just be stuff that people put out there that they're not 100% sure of knowing. Um, so we're talking about nonfiction because we're looking at this in detail in this class, because we're going to be looking at some nonfiction articles. And we're going to be talking about things that are related to nonfiction ideas, such as diabetes, um, different, well, that's my dog, sorry, different diseases, or even different issues that come up in society about the internet and the use of the internet. And so what you want to make sure to do is, when you're relying on this type of information, you want to make sure that it's actually published and that you actually can verify who edited the information, because these types of readings require someone to verify the validity, because we rely on that information, um, and the accuracy of the information of nonfiction. And so to be a critical reader, you need to make sure to know and to be aware of um, who is writing these pieces and why. And so we're going to be talking a lot about that in this chapter. Okay.